What's good, listeners? Welcome to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Good morning, Marissa. How's it going, fam?
Oh my gosh, it is going.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, there's a lot of it was kind of a slow week, but you know what really kind of stuck out with me throughout it was did you hear anything about Circle K? And this is not like a self-promotion for Circle K. I mean, did you hear what's going on at these gas stations, Marissa?
I did, but tell the listeners in case they
Oh
don't.
my gosh, I guess
the trip.
It is quite a trip. I mean, Green Thumb Industries is partnering up with Circle K gas stations, and they're going to be soon making the devil's lettuce more mainstream by bringing marijuana to gas stations. And, I was quite shocked, Marissa. I'm not going to lie. Out of all the states to get this thing going, I don't even think the listening audience would even have a fair shot at even being able to figure out what the state is.
I guessed Colorado, and I was way wrong.
Yeah, and I would always tell people, I'm like, just think of it like this, CCS family. If there's a state that you're not thinking about, that's the state. And most people were telling me Texas, Marissa, but Texas is not it.
That was my second choice.
That is very, very true, and I will give that to you. But it was Florida, out of all places, which was kind of crazy. And, they are partnering up with Green Thumb Industries, which is one of the largest U.S. cannabis producers, to sell licensed marijuana at Florida gasoline retailers. And you know what kind of amazed me? My producer, Paul Graham, our producer, he was kind of, we were chit-chatting. He goes, well, what's the legal age to even get the devil's lettuce in Florida? And I was like, I don't know. I would assume that maybe they're on a line with, Gavin Newsom's 21 and older. No, you got to get the old school decade old route. Just be 18 years old and get your medical license, and then you'll be able to buy marijuana there. I always kind of have this running joke, Marissa, with gasoline clerks. I mean, they're not always the most brightest individuals. I mean, a lot of them are kind of just working their minimum wage. They're always smoking blunts out front. I mean, do we really want to rely on these gas station outlets to not be the new drive-up spot, if you know what I mean, for all kinds of trouble?
As long as they're not handing out dabs on top of you buying the average smoke shop. It's like, here's some marijuana and a dab before you drive.
what if it's just like CBD? That's it. And then I'd be like, that's not really marijuana.
What I thought it was. I thought they were just going to do CBD, which was like, okay, you can't get high on CBD. Cool. But it's THC is what you're saying. So I was shocked about that one.
But when you hear these kind of things, Marissa, do you think now that marijuana is showing up at gas stations, do you think that these rest of these states will start to play ball and start to realize that this is becoming a little bit more mainstream?
All the money. That's why states are coming into line, legalizing marijuana. There's a lot of money in marijuana.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the more wild things that I was seeing this week. But also, I know that there's a lot of hype. I mean, there's kind of rumble happening this morning, Marissa, because there are rumors that Rockstar Games is going to be finally, after 15 years, finally releasing the gameplay trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6. I really think it's going to happen today. I mean, I have the PS Premium account.
You're all ready, aren't you?
It's like, I won't be able to play it, obviously. But what I was trying to get at is, they allowed Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the remastered edition, to be on the PS Premium. And it kind of made me feel like, why is the stars aligning? I feel like Rockstar is really trying to amp this up, and hopefully it reaches expectations, because I bet your ass, like myself and many others.
Yeah, you'll be looking at that, and I'll be making applesauce.
Yeah, you'll be making it. Well, it's not going to be coming out for probably another year or two, but I feel like when Grand Theft Auto 6 drops, it's going to bring back those days where people were whipping out the tents outside of Best Buy, waiting to get that disc, because I just don't see that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 being the necessary hype that we haven't seen in what seems like a couple of years now. I'm looking forward to it. But it's definitely totally insane. And guys, if you're with us this far enough, I want to let you guys know, make sure you like and subscribe to the Chris Collins Show so you never miss a live show. And I just want to let you guys know, we got a great show. It is completely jam-packed, because joining us on Just Talking is Triple Threat Paul Schuyler to discuss his psychodrama film, Red River Road, as well as Strike A Chord artist Bring The Hoax, all the way out from Stockholm, Sweden. I always love doing these across the pond conversations. And also, don't forget to check out our music podcast called Off the Fret, More Music Talk, featuring emo rocker Anson as our 6th installment. And guys, I might as well let you know this now too. I just finished up wrapping up an interview section for our 7th interview with the one and only Los Angeles rockers, Poe the Passenger. And Marissa, I got to bring you on camera real quickly. Turn your camera back on.
Yeah.
Because you know what's so amazing since the last time we spoke with them before we go in to say it?
What?
1 month into that debut LP, they got 1 million streams online.
What?
1 million streams. So exactly what we said, they're the real deal. And you guys are not gonna want to miss this interview. It is so much fun. But hey, we got a show for everybody, so it's time to rock and roll. This one's called Say It.
I'm beyond livid.
That's what's been irking me like crazy.
Psycho X.
We hope that he grows from this.
No, legit, I was trying to figure that out also.
Whatever's on our mind, there's something that's been griping.
So, I get to just say it.
That's my question, Marissa. This is Say It because someone's got to say it. I mean, my Lanta, this is probably one of the more greater stories to happen in the year of 2022. It's long been said that sex sells, but the world of politics is the last place on earth that one might expect to hear the motto. However, Mike Itkes, a House candidate, recently released a sex tape in hopes of beating Representative Jerry Nadler to become a member in the New York's 12th congressional district during next month's election. And as you can see here, that is not his wife. That is a hired adult porn star. And man, the comments were lively. And this is one of my favorite ones, Marissa. Looks more like the guy from Despicable Me, which is hilarious. We also got another funny one right here, which we're going to switch the camera over. This is, I'm sure he used campaign funds to pay for her filming session. Also, we have here, let's just pray Nadler doesn't try to outdo him. And this one was pretty great. It says, Mike Itkes is the only politician I could trust. Dude walked his talk and released his own sex tape. Those politicians advocating for gays, we are waiting for yours too. I don't necessarily know what that means, but I wanted to share it just because I think it's freaking hilarious. I mean, just because you support gay rights doesn't mean that, you know, you're all in favor of the freedom of sex workers running rampantly in this country. But do you think this was a smart move?
No. Well, I don't know about smart move for a political career, but when I found out he's from New York, I was like, yeah,
you just referenced something that's funny. That maybe not be a smart move for a political move. Then when would this be the smart
Well, I mean,
move?
who knows? Maybe people are into that. Yeah. Older gentleman looking, going in with a younger lady. It reminds me of like stepdaddy, stepdaughter porn.
Oh, that is freaking hilarious.
Exactly what it would be titled under.
Because I was going to say this is a perfect introduction to get yourself into the whack pack.
Hey, look,
Howard Stern, if you're watching, you know, Mike might need a job after this.
I legit, like, I watch porn. I love porn. Porn is cool, right?
Yeah,
I would not watch his porn. I would not. I have to say, there's a certain vibe.
Sure?
Hey, as I scroll, there's a certain vibe I'm looking for, and creepy stepdaddy is not the vibe I'm looking for.
That's actually really funny because, you know, like when you do think about a lot of these kind of like directed porn, they are sort of creepy. What happened to like that, just the old school, just like, let's just fuck. And like, why do we always have to have like these awkward stories where there's always like some stepmom and some cool guy peering through, a window?
I fast forward and I'm like, talking. Oh, action.
Yeah. Why hasn't the rest of these porn industry leaders not realized that we don't really care for the buildup? The story.
I think it makes them feel, I don't know, extra special, like an actress or an actor. You know what I mean? Yeah. Have a couple lines more than moaning.
I mean, I'm sure the CCS family is wondering, did we actually watch that porn tape? No, I did not. I have not indulged myself into it. But hey, if you want to go on Twitter, you're going to find all kinds of, very loose skin.
Oh, gross,
that's gonna be out there. Hey, we just got to do our service, so we got to let the people know it's good.
First off, to each their own. There's always somebody for that porn. No.
But hey, sex sells, but who's buying? But hey, if you're going to be one of these kind of individuals that is going to be voting for him in New York, hey, reach out into the YouTube live comments below. But hey, stick around because we have more left on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. What's good, listeners? Our guest on Just Talking is triple threat director, writer, and actor Paul Schuyler to discuss his psychodrama film, Red River Road, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. How's it going, fam?
It's going good. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, absolutely. It's good seeing you, Paul. And before we even begin our conversation, let's go ahead and play the teaser trailer now for Red River Road.
What day is it today?
Thursday?
Do you know the date?
No, I don't know the date.
I don't know the date either.
It's just us, Mom.
How do you know it's real?
Because this feels real to me. Doesn't this feel real to you?
Baby, this has been over for months, and we're stranded out here. We have no idea what's going on. How would we know?
I can't find your father.
What are they taking from us?
Everything. We always said that if the powers that be wanted to take full control, that this is how they would do it.
There's thousands of people communicating. They have been for months. You can't listen to this. We could all be infected by now.
Should you do this? We need to know.
You're not real. I remember.
Oh, man, it is so freaking intense. Congrats on the film, Paul. And for anybody that was just watching that trailer right now, what can you tell them about this film?
So it's a pandemic movie. We shot it during the pandemic. Only this pandemic spreads electronically through the internet and distorts your ability to perceive reality. So it's one of those, I just take you down the wormhole with them.
So you're basically shrooming through the internet?
Yeah, that's what I feel like you're getting at. Right, Paul?
I think shrooms are way more fun. Than
Have it here. Unless you're on a bad acid trip. That is true. Shrooms are a lot of fun. Acid, and sometimes not so good.
Well, Red River Road is not necessarily like a jump out of your seat thriller, but it had me kind of scratching my head and kind of pulling out my mustache a little bit throughout the entire film. So how would you describe your style of screenwriting? Because it worked out so well on screen.
You know, I write sort of at different voices at different times. And this one just felt like it wanted to evolve slowly. My whole intention was, you don't know how tight the noose is until it's already around your neck. That was sort of the vibe that I wanted, or the pace that we wanted to go to. And it never really lets up. You know, you kind of ease into it and you think, well, I'm just watching this family go about their business. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're on the downhill part of the roller coaster with it. And that's
it's definitely got that slow burn feel, but I'm telling you, when it that second half, oh my gosh, it is like a roller coaster. It's definitely going to keep in. Wait for that drop out.
Halloween nights when you want to put those scary movies in. Yours is on that. That is a perfect movie to watch.
Yeah,
it's
also built to keep the conversation going. Like, it's built for you to kind of make up what happens, and the person sitting next to you might have a completely different movie they saw. And you can
you absolutely definitely 100%. Get that feeling. I'm biting my tongue because the CCS family, you have to check out the film for yourself. And then, you know, if you want to come into my DMs, you want to have that conversation, feel free. Let's have it. But hey, Paul, are you aware of the following phrase? I'm the boss in this house, and I have my wife's permission to say so.
Yes.
So
why do you bring that up?
Well, the reason why I had to bring this up is your whole family are the stars in Red River Road. And how was it like to direct your wife and kids in this film?
Well, my wife and I met in acting class. I know that's such a cliche. And it took us a year to figure out that we were in love with each other because we just
Aw.
worked so well together. We did every scene together. I'd either direct her in something or we'd be in a scene together. We started writing things together, and it's just been a natural, it's sort of what brought us together. So on the one hand, it's super easy because it's what we do. But when we fight or we disagree, we're passionate people. It gets super intense. Our kids actually had to step in and play ref, like, hey, well,
Can we just shoot?
That we have to behave ourselves in front of, things got.
Well, that's fascinating that you're saying that,
That's
Paul,
actually
because
pretty
my first reaction is, are your kids trained actors, or did they just have to kind of like jump into the moment and was like, man, we're kind of making this happen, I guess, during the pandemic. Settle down, mom and dad.
They were blessed to be on Cape Cod where there's great theater, great live theater. And so they grew up in the theater. They've been trained, they've been on stage a ton of times, they've done movies. So yeah, their whole thing though was they just wanted to be playing Rust,
Oh,
Yep. Video games, they like to be with their
Each and 5.
I guess there is a little bit of that parlay with the mix because it's always us generation that's our intention to jump online immediately if anything hits the fan. But we don't want to give away too much. But Paul, when you decided to write and direct and act, and again you edited it and you did the cinematography, which is insane. I think we need to come up with a whole new terminology, Marissa. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be quite yet, but we are literally talking to a living legend himself, Paul Schuyler. And, we don't.
It's Schuyler. It's Schuyler.
Schuyler?
Schuyler, yeah.
Okay. Because I got the impression, but still,
yeah.
That is so freaking insane. And I'm even seeing in your background right now, you are literally living on set, and I think that is so freaking cool. And I don't often get to talk to triple threats like yourself. So, what's tougher? Is it the writing? Is it the acting or the directing?
I think honestly, the sound design is the hardest because there's so much minutia to it. As far as the different aspects of it, I just put on a different hat. Writing is a very isolated thing. Directing is a very people solving problems. It's very engaged. Then it's back into the dungeon to edit, which is sort of like editing too. You kind of rewrite the story as you go along. So yeah, I just shift into different perspectives. And the acting, I really, since I wrote the character, I had a real sense of who he was. So it was easy to just go, all right, I got the camera set up. This is where we're going to be. I block everybody else, and it's like, go.
So did you write with the editing in mind then? Because I know other like writers who do their editing too on there, and they'll write already thinking about the editing. Did you do that, or in the editing floor, did you find things like that doesn't work and start cutting?
I don't. I write to write. I just want to exist in the situation and the story and let the characters sort of decide what's going to happen. And I have a sense plot wise where I want it to go, but sometimes they take me in a different direction. So I'm very free. The only limitation I had was we got to be in the house and it's just the 4 of us. That's my limitation. Directing, I'm just out there to gather as much stuff, as much material as I can get. Because I know the script in the editing room is just going to be sort of a vague outline.
Mm-hmm.
What did the performances now bring? That's going to sort of shift.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, Paul, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's like, every blockbuster film has to go through these hurdles and roadblocks to make their moving pictures a reality. And what challenges did you experience on this film? I mean, when you're saying the sound, was it more, did you have to go through like a whole ADR process? Was like every dialogue completely butchered? Is that what you were saying during the film session?
So they're isolated and there's not supposed to be any people around. And even on Cape Cod in the middle of a pandemic, anytime we decided to shoot, you could hear lawnmowers or leaf.
So I was about to say the lawnmower must have been going.
I mean, everyone's like, I'm going to take care of my lawn now. So it really screwed us up. So to create that sense of silence, I had to build all that from either.
So how did you have to navigate through these production realities?
Yeah, it's just, you got to be flexible. You got to have plan B, C, D, all the way down.
And what were those plans B, C,
Did you ever go down to like a neighbor and just be like, hey, dog, I'm shooting right now. Can you just lay off on it? Because I've been on sets and we've done that. We're like, hey, excuse me. Can you just stop for 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's a real reality.
Yeah, I know. We were too small to be impolite about it.
No, I think, Paul, what you're trying to say is I don't want to piss off the neighbor because you're trying to have a couple more shoots at the house.
Yeah. The only thing I did tell him was like, hey, we're filming a movie. So if you hear a lot of screaming and yelling, more than normal from coming from our house. Don't call the
Oh,
cops.
I'm so glad you warned them. I was in a film and we didn't warn the neighbors. No, my
Yeah.
kid gets killed. And so I come running out
Oh.
screaming, and I'm
Yeah.
holding the child actor screaming bloody murder, and the neighbors didn't know, and they came out. One called the cops. Like, it was a huge thing because they honestly thought like a kid got hit, and I saw it.
Yeah, they had that recently in New York where they had actors who were dressed up as firefighters when a fire was literally across the street, and they're just standing there like, I don't know what you want us to do. Which I think is hilarious. But Paul, in Red River Road, the family is isolating themselves against a global pandemic that spreads through the internet and robs a person of their ability to perceive reality. And was this a direct shot towards Dr. Fauci and the pandemic?
I get asked this question a lot about the political message. And honestly, I just made it I wanted to isolate them, and I figured if you take away the internet or their connection to the outside world, they're really isolated. So it's more of like The Thing, where it's that paranoia that grows out of being stuck together. Obviously, it was simmering in the back of my mind and it just came through. So it's there. I'm not going to deny that there's not sort of like the echo chamber that we live in currently with social media, et cetera, so forth. But I didn't mean it to be a sledgehammer or to lead with that. So like I said, the film is built so that you can bring yourself to it and reflect your own.
Trust me, you bring yourself into it because we all lived through it. I mean, the film definitely came out like at the perfect time during the worst time in our lives. I think that's why your film has been working out so well, and it's been getting that great reception from all kinds of movie critics out there. And do you view, technology as an opportunity or a threat?
I think it's like anything else. It's just got to be wielded with some responsibility. You just have to take responsibility for how you're using it. I mean, as far as it being a tool, it's incredible. The way people can collaborate and communicate is the greatest it's ever been in existence. But with that comes a lot of, openness to abuse it or just not use it responsibly, like alcohol or owning a gun, something like that. It's like you got to sort of self-monitor yourself and go, am I treating this healthily? Am I treating it the way it's supposed to be treated?
Oh, yeah,
and also
absolutely.
have people around you that can help you self-monitor, because it doesn't help. Like I said, I know Ye's in the news right now about buying Parlor and this and that, and there's nobody in his circle to help him self-monitor. So sometimes you gotta listen to that buddy.
Yeah, Marissa,
there's no one there to say no, and they just go off the deep end.
Yeah, I mean, Marissa, both of you guys are getting exactly to my point, because like for me, we've reached a saturation point. I mean, we got every celebrity and sports athlete, doing their podcast. And now, just like how Marissa just referenced, Kanye West, often known as Ye nowadays, he just acquired Parler. And so if Kanye West comes to own Parler and Elon Musk takes the reign on Twitter, will people connect in a meaningful way? Or is this like a bull that's just impossible to lasso?
I think people will do what they're naturally driven to do. I think there are plenty of people that use these tools in a responsible way to communicate accordingly. There's always going to be people that just want to believe what they want to believe, or it gives them, the opportunity to do that they might not otherwise have. But at the end of the day, it's about, responsibility to yourself, taking responsibility.
As a parent, because I know we're talking about social media, have you had any issues with your kids and their use of social media? Because that's one thing we always talk about with kids and the depression and their influences is, where's the parent? Where are they stepping in? So have you had any talks or issues with your kids about social media and how to responsibly use it?
We always drilled that into them. And to be fair, because they had the theater, they were into sports, there was a lot of external stuff. They craved meeting in person, having that, like, I want to go hang out with my friends. So it seemed that they used it really sparingly. And I don't know if that's just because from day one, we sort of drilled it like, hey, this isn't just some free for all here. You got to be present on planet Earth with your feet
I think
up.
you were connecting them with community. Humans crave human touch and interaction. And if you're not getting that in the real sense, then you do turn to the social media. And then that's that warped reality,
right?
Which is a lot about your film.
You get home after work. It's like, I don't really want to go out. You got to kind of force yourself to go out. So it is easy to jump on Zoom or jump on Rust or any of those online player games. And there is community, you know, I'm not going to deny that, especially in the pandemic when they couldn't see people and they had that. Thank God they had that, you know, to stay in touch and feel that sense, even though it was a little bit removed.
Absolutely. And, you know, Paul, I want to have some fun with you because if you had the opportunity to remake a classic, because that just seems like what everybody wants to do in the industry nowadays, which one would you go for?
You know, what I would remake, I would never want to show to people because the original is perfect in every way. I would just want to do it, and that would be to remake Jaws because it's my favorite film.
Oh,
That is the scariest film ever.
see, I was not actually expecting that answer out of you. And yeah, I think Jaws.
It's because he's from Cape Cod.
I live in Jaws.
I know. Because all the buildings are there. Like you got easy access.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like in this new decade, Paul, like the cinematic world is like inundated with remakes taking over the scene. I mean, for myself personally, I find it to be a bit problematic as I feel like it doesn't allow the next rising great superstar to get his work out there into the mix.
Or her work.
That's true too. Well, we don't question pronouns. No, we don't question pronouns on the Chris College. Take it, Marissa. No, we much love Marissa. that's my co-host looking out for me, fam. But hey, what's your message to make it in the film world?
You know, it's tough. I started when it was just film, and then like home video was kind of a minor thing. So your only chance was if you got to Sundance and somebody picked it up and put it out in a movie theater, then you probably had a career. Now there's so many outlets. You got YouTube, you got Vimeo, you've got all these small distribution companies, you've got streaming services. So this movie is this is my calling card. I can get it out there. Hopefully somebody sees it. But at the end of the day, it's still like if you don't get into Sundance or TIFF or one of the huge festivals and get Apple in a bidding war on you, you're probably gonna have to make 1, 2, maybe 3 little indie movies until something rises above, you know, sort of the noise of how much product is out there. At the
Do
end
you
of the
think?
day,
Go for it, Paul.
I was gonna say at the end of the day, have a good story.
Yeah.
Story is what people crave. There's a ton of content out there, and a lot of it feels flat. It feels recycled. It feels padded. Like binging TV series now, it's like let's go.
Yeah.
Episode to flesh out this thing that's really meaningless, and I think people are getting so oversaturated and exhausted by it that when something comes along that's tight and it moves and it tells a story with characters that you care about, it's going to jump out.
What do you think about the film festival scene? Because I kind of feel like there's so many of them nowadays that a lot of the times I feel like it doesn't serve the purpose of what a film festival was all about in general, was really kind of giving your film that exposure. Do you feel the same way?
To some degree, I do. I think it is an opportunity. Like I'm lucky enough, I run the movie theater here in town. So Red River Road did a 4-week.
So they are forced to watch it.
Or you're gonna get thrown in with the sharks.
That's all you're able to see is Red River Road.
So I get to see myself on the big screen, which is how I mean it to be. For a lot of these filmmakers, film festival is the only chance they're ever going to have to see it on the big screen and really get to enjoy it and have an audience. So with that regard, it's awesome. In terms of promoting people or getting them out there, not so much. I mean, Sundance, honestly, it's corporatized. Those movies are already pushed by distributors or studios. Maybe
they've had back deals before they even were shown. There were back deals already in there.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's always tied to a certain entity or a studio front. And, you know, why do you think A24 is always referenced at Sundance?
Of course. And,
come on now. Let's be real. And, you know, just to kind of wrap up this conversation, you've been so awesome, Paul. Yeah. But, you know, this is always something that stuck with me because, you know, I went 8 years in film school, my undergrad and grad school at Cal State LA, and I always treasure my time with them. But I always feel like, do you have to go to film school to learn this kind of knowledge to be the triple threat that you are today?
No. When I started, it was film and mag reels, and it was a real technical thing. So you had to learn those things, and there was no YouTube to do it. Now I just tell people, save your money because you're going to need it to shoot something. Everything you need to know is either on a DVD extra. Just watch any David Fincher movie extras. He gives a whole film course every time he does one. It's all on YouTube. And then just watch a ton of great movies. And if you like a movie, figure out who that director was influenced by, and then go back in history until you trace all the way to the roots. That's going to give you everything you need to know about how to tell stories visually, how to construct a story. Yeah.
That's
I feel like I'm talking to Elon Musk.
No,
I mean, Elon said the same thing. He's like, why go to college when you can just go on YouTube? A lot of the great lessons are on there.
And I have to say, Paul, you're the first director to actually talk about the lineage of where you're getting your influences from and to look at that. So kudos on that. That one's brilliant.
And Paul, thank you again for...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, say it one more time, Paul. Real quickly. We're running out of time.
Spielberg was my boy until I discovered Kurosawa. And I was like, oh, that's where it came from. And that is amazing. And Paul Schuyler, I can't thank you enough for joining the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
His last name wrong.
What?
Paul Schuyler.
Oh, Schuyler.
I got you.
Oh, gotcha. My apologies. Why did I think it was Schuyler?
Sorry.
My apologies.
Hey, co-host got you there.
I got you, fam. But hey, go ahead and check out his remarkable film. It's called Red River Road. And where can they find that out on demand?
It's on all the major VOD streaming platforms: Vudu, Amazon, Apple, Google Play. Yeah. All
right, rock and roll. And sorry for butchering your last name. I can't believe I did that.
Everybody does. No worries. No worries.
I don't know where I got this information from. I'm gonna just have to go and blame the corporate head in my brain.
You're awesome, Paul. Thank you so much.
Have a great rest of your day, my friend. And stick around, CCS family. More left on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Hey, what's good? This is Strike A Chord, and our guests are indie rockers from Stockholm, Sweden. They are Bring The Hoax, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Also, check out our 6th installment of Off the Fret, More Music Talk, featuring emo rockers Anson, out now on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And we got the gentlemen here themselves from across the pod. So Bring The Hoax, how's it going, fam?
Hi, it's going great.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I just want to say from the very top, Chris, you guys look like twins. Like you should be in there with them. You have the same glasses. You have a mustache. Where's your plaid shirt, Chris?
Carl, I don't know what's going on. I think there can only be one amigo, just like how they say there can only be one fedora in the group.
They did say that, dumb.
No, you guys are amazing. We love you guys. And, the band Bring The Hoax is as fresh as a coat of wet paint. And how did the band get started?
You tell Kalle. I mean, me and Hasse has we known each other for a long time. Yeah. And we love indie rock and red wine, so I think red wine and
so do I. Those are two things I love too.
Who knew that indie rock and red wine would just parlay up so well?
They do parlay so well. I love that.
And how would you guys describe Bring The Hoax's sound?
Oh, fuzzy guitars, cute but firm melodies. Yeah, somewhat catchy.
Fuzzy guitars, cute with firm melodies. Oh, I like that. You guys sound like a plush toy.
It's like a candy bag.
Like a candy bar, but what kind of candy bar? Because awesome. Are you going to be like a hard Butterfinger? Are you a Kit Kat? Or do you bring us a little bit of that crunch?
No, I think it's a hard shell, and then when you bite, it's a smooth.
It's a Milky Way.
I like that. See,
more Snickers. But yeah.
You're gonna throw those nuts in there, huh?
Well, they are quite the motley crew. But they do have Sarah in the group. She's got to hold all those nuts intact. No, that's the caramel. Totally inappropriate, Marissa. Totally inappropriate. But hey, I know that we love your guys' singles, and you guys got an amazing music video out right now that's called Jonestown, which, like you just said, it's got those killer, fuzzy guitars. It's got that sweet melodies that comes across as kind of, very uplifting. But then once you kind of get into, the lyrical content, it's kind of got a deeper message in the end. So, why did you guys want to bring up that correlation with today's society and that infamous Jonestown massacre that the band suggests?
Yeah, I mean today's society, it's a lot of like with Instagram and social media, and there's a lot of like you need to do this and that, and I think like people stop thinking a bit. So you can't like everything is not, you can't say that everything is true, and that's a big problem in the world today. I think that's that the media is a part of.
Yeah, and also, the whole thing about your own self-worth and self-esteem, and how you don't look up into yourself and what am I worth? You only look on Instagram, or what am I worth comparing to all of these successful, wonderful people I see every day on Instagram.
And do you believe our generation is like lacking in seeking out the truth on social media because of these presence of these so-called prophets such as Kanye West, for example?
Yeah, that's a good
like the whole side was just like, yeah.
No, but yeah, you're very true there, that people are lazy and they don't tend to search out the truth, maybe because it's so there. You have a truth that you don't really like question.
Yeah.
You know what? There's another truth that I tend to not question, and that is the fact that, Carl, I can't compete with you any longer. As you can clearly see right here, I think it's time to really kind of get things going, because I can't compete with you anymore. I gotta get rid of this right now.
No, really?
Oh no, I really can't do this anymore. This is a new look for me. Really? I think there could only be one Swede. And there's only one Fedora in the group. So now that we really set the
you
tone,
and Haas aren't even twins anymore.
No, we're not twins anymore, because he rocks it well, no, Carl, that's Carl, because you don't want to be matched up. Like, honestly, that beard looks so freaking sexy on you. I can't compete. But now I'm feeling like as smooth as a baby's ass. So I'm feeling pretty good right about now, and you should too, CCS family, because Bring the Hoax, they are ready, and this is an amazing music video that we're about to be playing right now. This song is called Jonestown, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
Came back, I don't need a second view. Came back, I know what you told.
Yeah, that's what's good. That is
Love
Bring
it.
the Hoax, and that is their music video, Jonestown, live on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show. And boys, go ahead and turn back on your guys' audio because we'd love to have you guys back on. But I guess before I even get into my more professional questions, do you approve of my new look? Do I look good?
Yeah.
Do I look good? I feel like I'm looking good.
Did you do that during the video?
What's that now?
Did you shave that during the video?
I did shave that dirt. Well, actually, I shaved it just before the music video because I just, it just wouldn't be the right thing to do to be, shaving it off camera. I got to do it live for the people, baby. Live for the people. No, you guys are incredible. I think you should totally rock the mustache for the rest of the year. Hopefully, you guys don't celebrate No Shave November because I'm liking the facial hair that's going on with Bring the Hoax. But hey, enough about me already. Let's go ahead and jump on into the band. And I know you guys are working on new material right now. So what works best for the band? I mean, is it writing the music first or is it coming up with the lyrical content?
I mean, we always start with the guitars. That's
and why does that come across a little bit easier in the world of song composition?
I mean, it's difficult to because when you start with the melody and then you adopt the lyrics to that, and I mean, for us it's always like the thing we have the hardest with is the song melodies, like the vocals. That's what we always struggle with. How should we do with the vocals? Because the guitars, I mean. That's just
Could you guys provide an example of how you guys had to work with the music to fit along with the lyrical content? For example, your guys' track Los Angeles that we're about to be playing on Strike A Chord. Was there any kind of moments that you guys were kind of developing, for example, maybe the pre-verse or the chorus where you're like, man, it's not necessarily sticking. How do we work around this?
That's a good fun example because we always struggle very hard with the lyrics on our songs, except for that song. We have never written a lyric as fast as we did on that.
And why did it come across or come with the nice flow for this one record, this one track?
I think we Leaving LA just came out of my mouth when we were playing, and usually later on when the song is finished, we sit down and this lyric doesn't really fit. We need to go deeper. We need to give you more poetical. But this time we just went, let's just keep it. It's fun. Leaving LA.
Yeah, because what I was reading about you guys online was you guys were writing your track Los Angeles about those really cold nights, in Sweden where, you guys just want to desperately run away from the cold, the snow, and get into that summer, breeze. And originally you guys were dreaming about trips to Mexico. Was that because you guys started singing Los Angeles that you couldn't find anything that rhymed well with Mexico?
That's an interesting question. No, I think we originally the first verse only had words rhyming with Mexico. It was stereo. It was, I don't know. It was a whole words ending with O's. No, leaving LA sounded better than leaving Stockholm.
And
leaving LA does sound better. I'm going to give this to you guys.
I mean, it's a really long trip to go from Stockholm to Mexico.
Yes, indeed. And do you guys have any big ambitions to leave your country to go across the pond to Mexico or LA?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's what's up. I love that. And and I always like asking this question too, because if you had the opportunity to live outside of Sweden, would you jump to the occasion?
Ooh.
They're like free healthcare, good environment.
Do you want to live in America, baby?
No gun violence.
But I mean,
well, way to hype up America, Marissa. Jesus.
Hey, man. I love
my
America,
God,
but
you
I'll
make
be
it sound
honest
like
with
people are
you.
getting gunned down every day.
No, I love Sweden.
America
Sweden.
has the sex appeal. You will always have that.
Exactly. But you know what? The one thing we
girl you
are
don't
missing.
bring home.
Well, the one sex appeal we're definitely missing is the mustache, my friend. That's the one thing. You guys, you Swedes are definitely rocking it a lot better than I would ever do. And you know, I find this track, it's a beautiful record. It's let's go right on into it. I think this is the perfect time to let the CCS family know what's good. This is Bring the Hoax music video, Los Angeles, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
let's do it.
Yeah.
So let's leave the USA, 80 miles an hour. Say goodbye to what's behind. Don't forget me to Old Town. Show me something new to end this. Play goodbye conclusions and just drag me out of now and out into the light. Leaving LA, not looking back. Leaving LA, all of the track. Leaving LA, no one to go. Leaving LA, watch you walk on. Speed up on the open road, with no gears left to go. I ain't never going home. Liberating everyone, just like it's gotta go. You can't find me in the sun. Show me something new to end this. Play about conclusions and just drag me out of now
Yeah, that's what's good. That is Bring the Hoax. And you can check out that record all over, streaming services right now. And, my question to you, gentlemen, is this something that Bring the Hoax is going to continue to do? Because I know this has kind of been a recent trend with a lot of artists where they're not releasing LPs and they would rather drop singles. Is that something that Bring the Hoax plans on doing moving forward?
No.
No.
So what can you let us in on? I mean,
give us that EP date.
Yeah, I mean, is there an EP, LP, any secret releases or collabs?
We're definitely fans of the whole album concept of the later years back in the day. But no, we have an EP coming out next Friday on the 28th.
Oh, that's what's up. Yep. I mean, what's the name of the EP?
Bring the Hoax.
Bring the Hoax. Hey, self-explanatory. I love it. I love when a band reps the album name as their album title. I think that is so freaking groovy, and I'm excited for it. I mean, listen, audience, you heard it first right here, and I know you guys have been around for a quick second now, and I think that's so freaking amazing. I can't thank you guys enough. I know it's like almost 8 o'clock on your guys' time, so the fact that you guys are staying up for us for the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
And
I know the CCS family loves you guys.
To do the interview.
That's true too. A little bit sober.
Maybe a little bit.
Hey, they got the guitars behind them. They got to get ready to start shredding it right after this interview
Get that
session.
red wine.
But for anybody that wants to follow the band on social media, where can they find you guys?
Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Where do you want to find us?
Where you want to find us? I know you guys don't got a Twitter account, right?
No, it hasn't. Instagram and Facebook are your go-tos. If you
the massive go-tos. I mean, I'm kind of with them, Marissa. I feel like
I don't Twitter. I'm honest. I don't Twitter. I like Instagram. Twitter is just a shortened version of Facebook.
And so, since you kind of let us in on the Bring the Hoax next Friday, EP's dropping, is there kind of like an album theme that you guys are trying to go for? I kind of noticed that you guys are always naming each song title like kind of after a place. Is that going to be like the running theme with this EP?
I got that question a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot of we have some places, but we also work with years.
Yeah.
Before BC?
No.
Okay, you keep it at AD. No, I think that's totally.
I got lost.
Sorry, I cut off your audio on that one.
I don't know what just happened, but I just got totally lost.
Hey, don't worry about it, Marissa.
BCAD, we're talking about deers. I don't know
what's
going on.
We're talking about the years, girl. We're talking about the years.
I thought you said deer. I was like, oh, okay, they're from Sweden. Some deers.
Yeah, we got them.
You got those deers?
This is like the first time in a long time, gentlemen, I actually had to save my co-host from the confusion. It's usually me on my end. But
There's
you
always
guys,
that one time, Chris. There's always that one time.
It's always that one time. And guys, we can't thank you enough for joining the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, and enjoy yourself, enjoy the weekend, and hopefully we can talk to you guys again in the new year once you guys have been riding on that success with the brand new EP, Bring the Hoax. And these are the guys from Stockholm, Sweden themselves. Thank you, gentlemen, again for joining Strike a Chord.
Yeah. Have a good one.
And for everybody that's watching us right now, stick around because we got so much more left on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Man, both of these guests have been so freaking remarkable, Marissa. I really can't thank these guys enough. And, with this show, we always like to end it off on a positive note. So this is what's good, where if you go on channels 2 through 11, you're going to see so much negativity. And Marissa and I, we like to break the mold and let you, the CCS family, know what's good. And a college wrestler stepped in to help his teammate during a grizzly bear attack and ended up getting mauled himself. Both survived, and 2 of their teammates helped them to safety before emergency responders transported them to nearby hospitals. So we got the clips of them inside the hospital bed right here, right now.
I'm glad all 4 of us walked off that mountain. It was a big bear, looked scary, mean, teeth, drooling, breath stank. It bit me on the arm and shook me around, threw me. I don't think anyone else lesser than a wrestling team with the bond we have, they wouldn't have handled it as well as we did.
And I agree with those guys. I mean, like, I don't know how I would respond to that kind of situation, Marissa, because it's just so freaking insane. I mean, these guys are the ultimate teammates. And I mean, have you seen a lot of these kind of viral bear attacks that have been kind of trending on social media recently, Marissa?
Yeah, well, it's because people think bears are cuddly and sweet, like a teddy bear, and they're not. They're dangerous animals that will rip your head off. You know what I mean? You leave bears alone. That's the, I don't know, the survival mechanism that I think we've all had, like leave the bear alone.
But I mean, just the fact to kind of jump into action. I actually have another clip, Marissa, that I want to go ahead and showcase to the CCS family, because if you didn't get the message with the first video I just played during What's Good, let me show you another example that was trending earlier this week where a climber was attacked by a bear, and just see how crazy this aggression can get. Does it look like that bear plays around? Does it look like that bear plays around? That is freaking insane to the membrane. You know, like I said before, you know, there was one kind of crazy trip back in Boy Scouts, Marissa, which is totally freaking insane. But I can't remember what camping location it was, but what you learn in Boy Scouts is, you know, you bring your deodorant, you bring your shampoo and etc. And then you grab your belongings and you throw it over a tree on a branch and you hang your stuff high. Well, one kid in my group that was in my tent decided to leave his deodorant in the bag, and we had a close encounter with a big ass bear, just like that too. And we stayed quiet as hell. And so when I see that guy like screaming in action, I thought they usually say don't do that.
No, absolutely not. You did the wrong thing.
I thought you're supposed to walk slowly backwards.
No, absolutely not. You stand as tall as you can.
Well, in that situation, I think I'd be screaming and hollering as much as I can. You're on the side of the cliff.
This is seriously, people don't realize this. You stand as tall as you can. You try to be out. You spread your arms. You make loud noises like that guy was doing. You scream at them. You show that aggression on there, and the hope is that they go, oh, here's another aggressive animal, let me walk away from that. And as you're screaming and doing all that, if you take slow steps back, you cannot run. That has that fear in there, and then it triggers into their, oh, let me go ahead and now chase you because they're back. So it is about screaming, being loud, being big, and at the end of the day, you can still scream, be loud, and be mauled like the wrestlers. Bears are no joke.
That's very true.
I mean,
isn't that so insane? Like, you even hear in that first clip, the guy was like, dude, I literally had to like get this bear to stop prying at my homie's neck. So I literally stuck my arm in its mouth.
Yeah.
Holy moly. I mean,
saved his friend's life. I mean, saved his life.
Yeah. And I know one of the kids that you saw that was on the hospital bed, he had 60 stitches on his face. I mean, you know, it's just remarkable that his face didn't get mutilated even worse. And, you know, just kudos for him jumping into action.
Love scars, so he's good.
Hey, you know, that's going to be one sexy story and one sexy scar. Hey, but we want to give a huge shout out to the amazing director, Paul. He has got an incredible film out there today that's called Red River Road. You can find that out now today on video on demand. Also, check out the guys all the way from across the pond. They are indie rockers from Stockholm, Sweden, Bring The Hoax, and they have their brand new EP, literally called Bring The Hoax, dropping next Friday. I can't believe that no one knew about this. I haven't even seen a single outlet about that. That gets me so excited that we, the CCS family, get to hear that first. And also, we got an amazing guest that's going to be joining us next week, fam. I'm beyond stoked for this, Marissa. Our guest on Strike A Chord are Philadelphia rockers Soraya to discuss their upcoming LP Bloom, out on October 28th, and we're getting them the day the album drops. And let me tell you, these Philadelphia rockers, they are blowing it up on the Billboard charts with their single I Seek Fire. It's top 30 on the rock charts. That is so freaking insane. And I know Jonah Jett, she actually gave a huge shout out to them, so that is freaking insane.
Yeah,
and
Joan
also
Jett's pretty amazing.
Joan Jett, yeah, I keep saying Jonah Jett, so funny.
I got
That's
you.
all I know.
I got you all show.
No, it's all
show.
It's funny because my mom was like, you know, you keep saying Jonah. I'm like, what, the freaking Jonah Brothers? Jesus. But also follow us on social media by following our handle at Chris Collins Show for more updates on guest announcements, new interviews, and so much more. And also check out our 6th installment of Off the Fret, More Music Talk, featuring Anson. He's an incredible soul. And also for 2 weeks from now, the 7th one's going to drop with LA Rockers, Poe the Passenger. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and like and subscribe so you never miss an update from us. And if you like what you're listening to, go to thechriscollinsshow.com and become a member today and get that free CCS t-shirt. For now, I will see you next week, fam. Peace. What's good, party people? Chris Collins Show presents Music Storm 2022, hosted by Chris Collins and Marissa Pitts, featuring Royals, Hurricane Highway, Cannibal Kids, Amanda Cooksey, Astoria State, Kid Dad, Resounding, Sleep Cycles, Avenues, Freckles, Weather Worn, Just True, Sophia Marie, Music Storm 2022, available on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Peace. Our brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
I love it. It's more time to chat. Hello.
You would look so jazzy. I love your outfit. How far would you go to start playing live music again? This slaps harder than my ex when she got her stimulus check. So, are you here to bring the sexual healing with your music? Everything is Everything, and I guarantee you're going to hear this song in the future. I love the flow, man. Politically charged album. So, if you get easily offended, this might not be the album for you. Brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
So excited.
Has Kim Kardashian accidentally sent you a coochie shot?
Do you want to stay there? It's completely your choice. Or you want to...
I feel you. And you know what? I love it. Off the Fret. More music talk. Peace. What's good? I'm Chris from the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, featuring Anson, set to bridge early 2000s emo rock with today's mainstream stratosphere, amassing millions of streams online, joins Off the Fret. More music talk.